Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Forum Thread Podcast number 154.
154.
I am Widabra, a.k.a. Drunk One Dry. Yes, I am very wasted tonight. And here with me today, I have these lovely people, only two, starting with Chaos Mana.
Hello.
And our very special guest, you may know him from that Let's Play series that I abandoned on my own channel, Bones/Alien.
You mean when you abandoned me? Yes, I remember that.
I remember that time too. I still love you, I'm sorry.
Did you like...
I just wanted us to be better, that's all.
Did you like say your goodbyes as you left and like looking at each other across the field?
No, he just kind of like subtly did it. He's just like, oh, we're done.
It wasn't subtly. I talked with, Samantha, but I didn't get the chance to talk to you because, I don't know, were you actually working then? I don't know what happened, but I remember having to text her and be like, hey, so, here's the situation, what'd you all decide? And it all ended in tears.
Do you want to say exactly what happened with your ARC server?
Okay, so there was some bullshit. First of all, if you don't know what we're talking about, links in the description. Look up the Let's Play video that we started. Everything was going peachy keen, but then we had some really hostile shit go on with one of our neighbors, which is not in the Let's Play, by the way. This all happened kind of off screen. And then some of the biggest tribes on the server were like, hey, look, they're gonna like reset everything. And we're like, well, fuck you. And they're like, well, fuck you. And we're like, well, no, that's not nice. And they're like, well, we're gonna destroy you. And we're like, no, you can't destroy us because we're gonna destroy ourselves. And then we gave all of our shit to their enemy and said, here, enemy of our enemy, you're our friend now. Take all of our stuff and our people. And we're leaving. Bye. And so they took everything so they could battle our enemy.
Yes.
Oh, I thought at first you were saying, so were these guys trying to make you reset? Or what were they trying to do to you?
They were leaving the server, so they were just going to go around and wipe everybody on their gigas.
Why?
Yeah, that's a way better explanation than what I was cooking up. Yeah, you're sober. You explain this shit.
Okay. So pretty much they were all nice and just trying to keep the server on a level playing field for everybody, making sure people weren't going to grief and steal and whatnot, just keeping the peace. And they went and started playing that new game, I can't remember the name of it, where you have to raid. You're like the terrorists raiding, trying to capture the person or whatever. I don't even know. I don't play the game. But they started playing that a lot. Then they came back and well, we're pretty much bored with this game. We're done, so we're just going to kill everybody, and then we're going to leave. So that's what they did. They started going around with their gigas, just attacking one base to the next. And
the Giga is the biggest, most powerful, badass dinosaur that exists at this point in time. So it's pretty much like God, and everybody else can just sit there and cower while this giant animal comes through and destroys everything that you've spent, months of your life building.
How does it compare to if you fought it against a Dodo Rex?
It would probably lose, because Dodo Rex has 666,000 health, and the Giga only has 50,000 health.
There's a reason you can only summon a Dodo Rex to do your bidding for 30 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Wait, you have to summon a Dodo Rex?
You have to summon a Dodo Rex, and it'll breathe fire and destroy your enemies.
Yeah.
And do your bidding, whatever it may be, for a grand total of 30 minutes, and then it disappears in a giant cloud of ash.
Actually, I think they changed it. I think it's 15 minutes now, and it'll melt metal. So, and you could also tame the zombie dodos that were with it. At least that's what they said.
I forgot that they had those zombie dodos. Thank you, Halloween update. Yeah, during the Halloween update in Ark, the most common animal is the cute little dodo bird. Oh, it's so adorable. And then they're like, hey, let's make this thing Halloween themed and turn it into a zombie dodo bird. And they're like, hey, we also have this giant T-Rex thing, T-Rex dodo that breathes fire. Let's have him be followed around by an army of zombie dodos, because that'd be cool. So yeah, that's a thing now.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome, actually.
And they exceeded the level cap, too. I seen zombie dodos that were level 200 plus following
So if
it.
you see a zombie dodo, run. You just better fucking turn around, run, hide in your metal base, and hope the Dodo Rex doesn't find you, because it will melt your shit.
Yeah, stay on your boat out in the water. It's that's the Dodo Rex's bane.
Yeah, it can't swim. The Dodo Rex cannot swim, so you would be safe in the water.
Yeah.
Fuck, why did we never have a boat? Or not a proper, a boat base.
Your escape rafts just set up in your base.
Yeah, run away!
Yep.
Set up a base way out in the middle of nowhere with pillars going all the way down to the ocean floor and be like, yes, we have our base in the ocean now.
No, and then you're going down to the last life raft and there's only enough room for one.
Women and children first! Wait, fuck that. No, I'm going. Tribe leader first!
But there's still room on that boat. Nope, I'm going!
And actually, okay, so after all that debacle, I retired from the game, but I still follow the updates. And apparently, in the next 2 or 3 days, they're rolling out a new update that lets you create different rankings for people inside your tribe. So you can assign different ranks to people and then give each rank their own special permissions inside the tribe. So instead of it being like, okay, you're an admin and you have access to all the doors and all the chests and everything, or you're not, you can now say, okay, so you're such and such rank and you can open such and such doors, but you cannot open such and such chests. And that's pretty freaking sweet. I kind of wish I hadn't retired now, but I will still be retired because holy shit, this game is such a life sucker.
Yep.
Well, it turned from I love that's what made it exciting, just to see even when I was there, not yet knowing anyone. It was just seeing the passive stuff that happened in the server, both in the alt chat and then just randomly happening upon somebody.
That's why it's so hard to do a let's play of Ark. Because, when you're doing a Let's Play, you have a schedule that you're trying to stick to, and you record a little bit, and then, produce it into an episode. But, Ark is always going. You can't step away from it. Ark is life. You can't ever just not play it, because the moment you step away, something terrible is going to happen. So, you only stop playing so you can go to work. Yeah. And when you get back home, you're like, okay, it's time for me to load up Ark again because, my dinos are in danger, or my neighbors are assholes and they're going to try and take my shit, or, there's always something going on.
Yeah, and they know when you're not on the server, too. All the active people pay attention to when you're not there, even in 2 or 3 days.
No, it got into that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you couldn't not be there, so you'd have to, log on and say something in chat, and everybody oh, Wadabra, I love you! I've missed you so much! Actually, I did have several people that would say that, and then when I announced I was leaving, they're like, you can't leave! No! The server won't be the same without you! Please don't go! I'm like, no, seriously, I have to. My life demands that I leave.
Yeah.
I won't make it. I mean, and that's the ultimate compliment, when you can say that, yes, the fact that I'm leaving is because this game has become my life, it got your hooks deep in you.
And it's not even done yet.
Yep. Not even close.
Yeah, when is the actual release date? I think they kept on pushing it back. I don't even know when the release date's supposed to be now.
They can keep pushing it back as far as I'm concerned.
Well, apparently concerning the development, I found this thing about how they've actually entered a legal battle on who's has the rights to own it or create it. It's a bunch of legal stuff, so it's hard to tell exactly what the issue is. But basically, while they settle this debate, they could either temporarily halt development or force them to pull it down entirely from the Steam, community.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Boils down to some issue with a developer or a head developer that was supposed to have left the company, but was secretly working on it the entire time.
So some Cloak and Dagger shit.
Yeah, basically. So at the very least, it seems like they're going to have development pushed back further because of this random legal issue. Whether or not it's actually a valid issue, they still have to deal with claims being made to them.
Yeah, I'm sure the game got a lot bigger than they expected it to.
Yeah, that's some bullshit right there. That's some bullshit. I know a thing or two about bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, have you heard this bullshit that's going on with some of these rumors going around that, like, you know, if your Xbox One is obsolete and your PlayStation 4 is obsolete, then you may not have to worry because Microsoft and Sony are going to step in and do what Nintendo's been doing with their handhelds. You know how they had like the Nintendo. What's their current handheld? DX?
The 3DS.
DS, yeah,
the
it was
most recent
DS.
one.
Then it was the 3DS XD, like the big
Yeah.
one, and then they had the 3DS. So it's like there was these rumors going around that, so Sony and Microsoft are looking at Nintendo being like, hey, you know, you guys are making a lot of money with your handhelds. In fact, you're kind of like dominating the market right now. So maybe we can take a lesson from you guys and offer incremental updates to the PlayStation and or Xbox, and you can increase the horsepower of your machine with these little updates. Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense to me, but this was an actual legit thing that I heard about. And I don't know how the fuck someone would even comprehend doing something like that.
They can optimize it. Like, they've come out with a nice amount of updates for the DS, like software updates that have made the programs work. It doesn't make the DS better, but the software on the DS has upgraded. Like, programs have gotten more advanced. You can do more mini games from the front menu. Like, the UI is improved, but they haven't just made it stronger on the DS. I'd like them to be able to patch the Xbox and PlayStation simply because patches are great, and usually a lot of the blatant problems could eventually get fixed, or at least a decent amount of them.
Well, at least with the Xbox, I can see where they would have some untapped potential. I think we were talking about this in an older podcast.
Yeah, the Kinect, like the games having to divert a little bit of the UI just in case you had a Kinect running, or not UI, a little bit of the processing power.
So I think the Kinect has an entire core attached to it specifically. So yeah, you do have some optimization you could do there with just getting rid of that fucking peripheral altogether. But I don't know, I think this console generation may actually be shaping up to be much shorter than the previous console generation, especially with Nintendo's NX program still under wraps. They're not saying a lot about it, but I think at this point in time it's pretty obvious that they're planning on releasing a new console, if not by the end of this year, early next year. E3 should be very interesting this year.
With the way the consoles are developing, they can't, like, a lot of the things they would have to change, like the Xbox and PlayStation aren't quite modular yet, at least not this iteration. So they might have to upgrade to slightly more, open source systems so that you can, like, upgrade it as they put out new patches and new bits and pieces.
Well, and was it just me when the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 came out? Usually with the console generation, you look at it and then you look at the PC games, and when they first come out, they're like pretty much on par with each other. You're like, okay, yeah, that looks like what the PC can do. But this time around, when both consoles came out, they're like, yeah, we're not going to run at the optimal frames per second, and we're not going to run at the optimal resolution for performance issues. So it's like both versions, both consoles seem to like have dulled themselves down, like to be considerably lesser than what the PC counterpart can do.
Yeah, I used to like go basically only on consoles, except for a very few select games that were PC specific. But now a lot of the games, like even if you have lower end computers, still look and run better than they do on a console. And sometimes they're a lot more glitchier on consoles as well, when it comes to online connectivity and stuff like that as well.
I mean, that's the only thing I think where Nintendo actually does not have a problem, strange enough as it seems, because their online gameplay is so underdeveloped, it actually makes it a little bit better that they don't have all these issues. And also, it wasn't weird that like the underpowered of the three, the Wii U was the only one able to run at 1080p. What the fuck is up with that? You have computers able to run at 4K resolution, and the standard for the Xbox and PlayStation tend to be for 720p, something like that. It's not even a full 1080. Like, what? Seriously, what the fuck? It's like unacceptable.
I don't even know why they always. I wish I knew more about the actual development side of that, but it just doesn't seem right that even with as lackluster of the other bits and pieces the Wii U has compared to its counterparts, it's still able to do that better resolutions. Like with all the power you guys are putting into the PlayStation and the Xbox, to fall behind is like, why?
I don't know, I think that has something to do with like optimization, where Nintendo has a what are they? You know that old-fashioned. You had one of those. You pull out one of those cartridges for the N64 and say the official seal, Nintendo seal of approval, or something like that. Some sort of shit like that. Like, do they still have that going on? Where like, yeah, if you're going to develop a game for our console, which is going to be a pain in the ass to develop for because it's so weird compared to the other two, it's like we've got these standards, so you have to be able to hit this resolution, this many frames per second. And it doesn't matter so much about the graphical fidelity as long as you hit those 2 mile marks there. I don't know. I think it seems to work. I mean, they can do adult games just fine too. Like, have you seen or played either of the Bayonetta games? So the first one was for all consoles, but the second one was only for the Wii U, and it did the series justice.
I saw gameplay for it. It was really smooth.
It was phenomenal. A little bit stylized, it didn't have the graphical fidelity of something on PC, but if you compare it to the other consoles, like, it still looked fucking amazing. And I just don't see why. Like, we're struggling. Just want to, like, line everybody up in a row and get a good beaten stick and just go to town with everyone, just pounding it on everybody.
Right now, Zach's saying it's 1080 60 for the Xbox One and PS4.
1080 60.
So yeah, 1080 resolution, 60 frames a second.
But not all games are hitting that.
Ah. The Xbox might be able to produce that, but they're not making that. Kind of like
that's the problem.
Connect reason. Okay, that's making more sense.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the situation right there. It's like, technically the stats of the console are capable of doing that, but the games are not hitting that. If you look at all the big games put out, like Watch_Dogs, that was the biggest one last time. Like, yeah, we're not gonna do that resolution for performance issues. And then if you look at it versus the PC version, you're like, wow, this is a really like a shitty graphical downgrade compared to the tech demo that they did at E3. It's like, seriously, guys, this is unacceptable. Stop doing it. Stop. Just stop. Ugh. I don't know if you can tell, but this really frustrates me. Like, you have all these really fancy tech demos. It's like, what the fuck is the point of a tech demo if the final product is inferior to the tech demo? Like, it totally defeats the purpose of said demo. It does nothing but upset your client base.
Yeah, but they keep coming back for more anyways. It doesn't matter how much you upset them, they're going to keep coming back.
Who are these mysterious they? I mean, I've gotten pissed off, and I'm one of those persons that's like, fuck you, I'm not buying your stuff anymore. Like, who's this they that keeps on coming back for more punishment? Is it
the masses.
Are you one of those they people?
No, I'm definitely not. I gave up on consoles quite a while back. I mean, they have to make these consoles to where everybody can afford them, and in doing so, they're putting, the processing power and everything in it is just not adequate. And then you got the programs that they're using to make these games when the finished product, they try running it, I'm sure it's causing all kinds of lag. They're like, we got to do something. Let's drop some resolution. Let's drop some distance. Let's put some fog in the background, and
Oh yeah, fog. I remember that.
yeah. So it's classic. They're going to keep doing it until we finally get consoles that are, they should just have different level of consoles. Like if you just want the standard console that'll play the game at 720 or whatever, or 1080, then yeah, you get the standard. But if you want to get the deluxe that'll play it at 4K and it'll play all the games that way, then they should have an option, but it's not an option yet for any consoles.
So I'm still holding out a little bit of hope for this NX. Like I said, I don't know much about it, but I have heard a couple statements from Nintendo, and they are encouraging.
Speaking of like slight leaks for that, apparently there was a bit of
juicy gossip.
Well, no, it's very minor, but apparently the controller that is rumored to be for the NX didn't have any buttons on it.
What?
It was like this. It's more like a oval. Now that I'm actually looking at the picture again.
Well, this early on, I mean, you remember the Boomerang PlayStation 3 controller.
So we're going back to the Sega controllers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give that even like a breath of acknowledgement until E3 comes out, because I'm sure they'll be like, nah, that was just like some idiot running their mouth. And I've seen this before.
Oh, you've seen that?
Not this specifically, but I've seen this type of thing before, where there's supposedly a leak of what the console controllers are supposed to look like, and then they're outlandish and cool, and you're like, I don't know, it's weird, but I'd try it. And then the final product comes out, and it's just like what we had before, just slightly different. And you're like, oh, I don't know why I got excited about that weird thing you were showing us before, because it's exactly the same. But what was I saying? Something about Nintendo. There was some sort of article I was reading where Nintendo said that they recognize what the people want, what their I know what it was. They want their people, the people that buy their stuff, to have fun, and they recognize that the console is just a tool that you use to enjoy the software. Something along those lines. It's not a perfect quote, but that's what the article is saying, that they were saying. That they understand that the console is just something that you're going to have to buy so you can enjoy the software.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're going by that mindset, it makes sense to, like what Microsoft did with the Xbox, the original Xbox. It was much more powerful than anything else on the console market at the time. And it really did it. But they sold every single original Xbox at a loss to themselves, because they knew that they would make it up, for one, with fan base, and two, with the profit they were going to make off of this software that you're going to sell in it. Because you can only sell a console once, but you can sell software for that bitch over and over and over again.
So they were in addition to the gaming companies, they were getting a little bit with every disc.
Yeah, so you gain profit from your online subscription to multiplayer, which is something I as weird as it is, I actually support. I support paying for good online multiplayer. And two, because those servers are expensive to maintain. And two, I forget the point that I was originally going to make. This is why Drunk One Dry sucks. But it was a good point, I assure you. I was going somewhere with it. It was going to be good. And now I can't think of anything but playing online multiplayer, especially Halo right now, and you can't do that on Nintendo. God, it's been a long time since I've played some Halo.
Yeah. Halo Reach.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Halo 4 overall, but the most I was focused on was Halo Reach, and that's kind of where I got introduced to it, because that's where Red vs. Blue was at the time.
Poor thing, you. So, anyway, the general gist of what I was trying to say is that with that type of mentality, where if you understand that you're going to create a stronger fan base by selling really good software, if you do like Xbox did originally by selling its consoles at a loss, you're actually losing money by selling something so superior. It's going to last a hell of a lot longer than the competition.
Yeah, those early ones lasted a long time.
Mine still works.
Upgrade.
I bought
Yeah.
my Xbox when I lived in Europe.
Hey, yeah, my original Xbox still works as well.
Yeah.
It's worth the investment, if not anything else. Even if you lose money on the consoles themselves, it's worth it. One, for the revenue you're going to get from all of the software you're going to pump into it. Two, from the online subscriptions that you're going to charge for your Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, or Nintendo needs to start charging for their online network too, because I really hate Nintendo's online network. It really, really blows.
It is obnoxious to deal with, though. One thing I love about the online network is its integration with Mario Maker and a lot of the other like level-based games.
Okay, I'll give you that. It is really well. That is really good.
I love all those little comments, little pictures, little drawings. You can see how many people died, when, and where.
So I like that for Mario Maker, but when I'm playing like Yoshi's Woolly World or New Super Mario World Wii U, I don't want to see everybody's fucking little comments at the end of every level. Like, you don't. I'm like, Nintendo, it's nice that you have a network. We know you have a network. You don't have to keep on giving everybody the option to post something at the end of every level. I don't want to see that someone thinks that Bowser sucks. I know he sucks. That's why I'm going to beat him. Just for the love of God, stop letting people share this shit.
You have to keep turning it off, I'm guessing. Does it even let you?
Yeah, you can somehow turn that off, I'm told, but I'm too much of a lazy asshole to be bothered with it, so I just, during every loading screen, it just annoys me.
But it's not enough to actually go out and find out how to change it off?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Sorry, my sister was telling me bye, and I was trying to pay attention. What were we talking about?
Bowser sucks.
Yeah, basically that in general.
Tell my puppy bye. Sorry, now I'm totally distracted.
Before, even though we kind of moved away from it at first, I don't know if you told me this like yourself or whichever, but I saw a post about the origins of why you poop in the art game is to eliminate the reason, like the need for a like a suicide button.
Oh, what? So you can just eat it? Eat it and kill yourself?
Yes. It's like to prevent people from being able to trap your character inside of, an area or a room or something like that. You can just do that and kill yourself rather than having to add in a suicide button.
Yeah, which most people will not do, though, because when people ask about that on open chat, everybody's like, oh, just eat your own poop. And they're like, no way, I'm not going to do that. And they're like, well, you might as well either punch a wall, jump until you run out of, food and die of starvation, or just wait or log off. That's really your only option.
So is it like insta-poison if you eat your own poop?
It won't kill you right
much.
away. You still got to eat. You got to eat it a couple times, I think. I've never actually tried it.
It will definitely make you sick and your health will decrease. It's like eating rotten meat. Then again, if you have a really high fortitude, like my characters always do, like you could probably eat shit and just like get a mild stomach ache.
Yeah.
And you're like, ugh.
That's when
And
high
you're
fortitude is bad, because high fortitude actually reduces the effects you get from starvation. So if you get trapped, you're screwed. If you have a high fortitude, you're going to be there forever and ever.
Yeah, I actually had that problem. I encountered a glitch where I fell into the geometry of a cliff face and got stuck inside this tiny little crevice. And there was no way for me I couldn't jump out. I couldn't crawl out. And I tried, it was like, there was no one online, and this happened early in the morning. This is what happens when I try and play Ark in the morning. So I was like exploring and fell into this little cliff face. I'm like, fuck, and I asked, is there anybody on, in the East Zone 2 area, wherever I was at the time, like, that's online. I'm like, I'm stuck in a cliff. I need someone to help me. I will pay you. Like, seriously, out of the 6 people that are online right now, if someone can come and get me out of here, I will pay you lots and lots of resources. Come get me. And they're like, dude, I don't know where you're at. Like, fuck! And so I just, like, let my character sit there. I walked away from the screen and, like, made myself breakfast and started doing laundry, and my character just would not starved to death because he was floating, so he fell where he wasn't sitting on the floor. He's just perpetually falling.
Yeah.
So I couldn't punch, I couldn't jump, I couldn't do anything. He's just like in a forever falling state. I couldn't eat anything because he's just falling.
Oh, you can't even
okay.
eat your own poop like the strategy was?
I couldn't do anything because he's just like floating above the ground, and he just thought he was falling. So
you couldn't attack either.
No, nothing.
Yeah,
I could
nothing.
do absolutely
You're just
nothing.
in falling motion.
So I just left, and I left him there for over an hour, and nothing happened. And finally, I heard stirring from the bedroom, like, Gray, like, I need your help. And he's like, what? What's going on? I'm like, my character's stuck. I need you to try and get him out, because he won't die. I've got some good shit, and I don't want to lose that, but at the same time, I don't want to be stuck there forever, so, like, please, if you can either, 1, get me out, or 2, like, shoot me with something that's gonna kill me, like, just get me out of here, please.
Were you actually able to free him?
I did. I went down there with the bird. I was able to, like, get the bird's feet right above his head, and even though he was really far below me, somehow the bird's feet registered his head and grabbed him.
Yeah, it's the long flowing locks that I have. It's like
Yeah.
the wind was blowing up, and his bird was able to grip that tightly in his talons and yanked me up.
I guess it didn't count. It didn't count him as actually through the surface where he was.
It's like he was still at the top, even though it showed him at the bottom hovering. So, yeah, you were over there by the Stonehenge, though. You were across the water from the Stonehenge where the island is. And
That's
you'd fallen
right.
into a crevice.
It was like southeast on the Ark Island then.
Actually, it was like almost like directly middle, because that's where the Stonehenge is like 50, or at the bottom, very south, about 50 across.
Oh, that's right. It was south.
Yeah.
Fuck. This is why I suck at directions. Thank you, Greg. you put me in my place. You let me know where shit's at.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have no life and you've flown around the island about 10,000 times.
Yeah, how many hours have you clocked there? It's got to be a ridiculous amount now.
I'm just about to hit 1,800 hours.
Dude, there's a point where, we need to schedule an intervention.
You're gonna have to catch him. You're gonna have to catch him on his flying dino to actually have the intervention.
Yeah.
No. Now, this fucker, okay, so I'm not playing anymore, but he updates me periodically on what he's up to. This fucker has got a Pulmoscorpius, which is just like a scorpion you can ride on. You can put a saddle on this giant-ass scorpion and ride around on. And he's got its speed increased like 300-something%.
400% now.
400 fucking %. So he's sitting on the scorpion, and then you just kind of see this whirlwind of dust and a blur across the screen, and you're like, what the fuck was that? And you hear the little of his little scorpion feet running across the ground, and you're like, was that a scorpion? When did they move that fast? Like if you put it in the water, the animation doesn't even work anymore. It moves so fast.
It looks like a water spider.
Yeah, it just doesn't do any. It just like glides.
Wait, is this one of his pets that's been boosted that much?
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I play on a couple different servers. I have a couple of PvP servers that I just kind of run around and troll on and kill people and trap them and just make them I put them in boxes and make them talk to each other. And then the PvE server, I'm constantly going around stealing people's dinos. And
PvE stands for player versus environment, for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah. So they can't just come and attack me, but there's plenty of ways that you control people on a PvE server as well. Like you could create a Quetzal.
So a PvE means that you can. The environment is the only thing that supposedly can hurt you.
Yeah.
Other players cannot hurt each other.
And their dinos can't hurt you, and their spikes can't hurt you, and all that other stuff.
So Gray has come up with a workaround for said situation.
Yes. I have killed many people, I have stolen many dinos, I have demolished many houses, and I have killed many dinos by leading lots and lots of very big dinos into their base, and then getting those dinos to attack me while I'm standing next to their dinos, which pisses off their dinos, and then they all fight it. Then I just get on my bird and fly away and watch them all die as 10 or 15 Brontos and Paracers stomp their entire village to the ground. And I laugh, and then I land, I steal all their stuff, and fly back home. The happiest man on the server. Over and over and over all day.
How did you ever get counterattacked?
No, I'm very careful. I'm always looking around, making sure nobody notices me. A lot of the times I'll do it at nighttime. I'll wait till it's night, and then I'll go just round up a whole bunch of big stuff and pull them into somebody's base, and just take all their stuff after everything's been wiped out.
So I'm guessing you're not very active in like the alt chat or anything. Like
No,
knowing,
I'm
oh,
very
I don't know
friendly.
what could, I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I'm very friendly on chat. Like I'll just talk normal to everybody. Like when I see somebody, I'll land next to them and start talking to them. But little do they know.
It's like oh, he'll be like buddy with someone, and then like the night before he'll have been the one that completely wrecked their shit.
Yeah,
They don't
I
even
love
know.
it. I love it when they're all talking on chat about it. Like, oh, my dinos are dead. How did this happen? And I'm just like, yes, it was me. All day long. I've had entire servers looking for me on PvP servers as well because I'm so good at trapping people. Like, I'll knock them out, drag them to cages, and just have several people complaining on chat to come save them, and nobody will come save them. So they just have to sit there and wait. And then when they're about to die, they'll pass out. I'll open the door, I'll go in there, I'll feed them really quick, and then when they wake back up, they have full health and full hunger and full water again.
You can force feed a person?
You can force feed them. Yep, so you can go in there after they've...
I was just going to say, do they have to be knocked out for that to happen?
Yep. But you can either knock them out, or most of the time people are going to try to kill themselves, and in the process of killing themselves, they always pass out. So if you just wait till they pass out, you run back in there and feed them and water them, they wake up with full health and full hunger, and they have to start all over again, over and over and over.
And
forever.
haven't they recently released handcuffs?
Handcuffs, yeah.
So you can like drag somebody around as your prisoner, and all they can do is just like flail their arms.
Yep, they can't hurt themselves, so if you put them in a cage with handcuffs, they can no longer even kill themselves.
Did you ever like keep someone for bounty from their tribe?
That's a really good idea. I'm really sad I haven't done that.
Like ransom?
Like
try to ransom them?
I'll open the cage, but that'll cost you 50 eggs or something.
Yeah. No, see, that probably wouldn't work out, because if I tried to do that, they would have people on the server that are regular, powerhouses that would come over there and try to mess with me. So when I'm doing that, I don't talk on chat at all. Everything is local. Like, I'll use my voice chat and proximity, so I'll run up to people and I'll be voice chatting with them, but I won't talk on the global chat, because if I talk on global chat, then I've given myself away. They can see my name. People can look at my name and be like, I gotta get that person, because I see their name on chat, so I know that they're bad. I gotta get them. But if I'm just elusive and they never hear me, they never see me, then they have no chance whatsoever to find me or come after me unless somebody gives away my coordinates, which does happen. But I have defenses. I have ways of keeping people from even getting to me. So, yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
This is what he does.
This is what I do. I entertain myself.
He's a professional.
A professional crazy person.
Yeah, I'm a professional griefer. It's when you spend this many hours on the game, you got to start finding things to do that entertain yourself.
I suppose you get to that point.
Seems like Dark went the diplomatic route, and he went like the combat route.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very diplomatic as well.
Dark tried to rule the server with diplomacy. You tried to rule it with. I know there's another word. I'm trying to compare it to Civ 5. I can't think of it though.
Well,
no, he's not trying to rule the server. He's just trying to troll the server.
Yeah, and
he's
when
like
I was
that
with
guy that you just can't put a lid on.
Yeah, me and Dark together, I was diplomatic also. On that server, I did not troll. It was strictly just playing right. But when we did have times where our tribe would go out and wipe an entire base under a different tribe name, so we would change our tribe name, we would change the name of our dinos. And then we would go wipe out their entire base so that they're on their tribe log. All they would see is that they got killed by these dinos' names and this tribe name. But then when we were done, we would change everything back so they would never know who actually attacked them. So yeah, it was our way of going in and out without anybody knowing.
Yeah, we were exploiting a fundamental flaw in the game's system there, but I don't think they ever fixed that. So technically, you could still do that.
Well, I think that'll probably be, judging by the fact that they're already updating the system by adding, like, the permissions and the ranks, like, I think that would probably be one of the next things, is, like, better group tracking.
Yeah. You would think that'd be one of the things that they would do, like, because at the way it's set up right now, you can, whenever you feel like it, you can just change what your tribe's name is on a whim, and you can change what your dinosaur's name is on a whim. So there's no, and then like
they need timers.
Yeah, there's two things you could do. You could either make it to where, one, you can't change the name of your dinosaurs and you can't change the name of your tribe at all once it's solidified. Kind of like a gamer tag where it gives a warning like, caution, you cannot change this name from this point forward. Are you sure this is what you want? And then you click accept. Or two, they make it to where no matter what you change the name of your dinosaur and the name of your tribe to, when it shows up in a log,
It updates it.
It updates it to whatever the current name of the tribe is and what the current name of the dinosaur is. That way you can't exploit that system. It would be very simple to fix.
Another thing they could do is just put a timer on how often you can change the tribe name. Let's say you can only change it once a week. So if somebody changed it for the purpose of attacking, they're going to have to wear that name for a week before they can change it again.
Yeah, and there would be no way that you could get away with it.
Yeah.
Like, no one would be able to know, because everyone would be able to know.
Yeah, people fly over your base every day, all day long. They would see it.
It would have been funny if they like walked in on you changing your names.
Yeah,
What are you
that's...
doing right now? Oh, we're just changing our identity. Shh,
I was
don't worry
worried about that, yeah. I had to run those dinos back and forth.
You haven't had any close calls?
Oh, well, yeah, actually, it was very close. We attacked one tribe, completely wiped them out with gigas that we were using from another tribe. But the biggest tribe on the server gave us their giga to wipe out a tribe that both of us didn't like. So our entire tribe goes over there. We're wiping them out. I'm dragging T-Rexes and Spinos back and forth from their base to our base, bringing back resources. And all the while, I'm having to pass 2 active tribes that would have been happy to blurt on open chat that we were doing this. But it just so happened that they were not online until the very moment that we were done. Like, as soon as we were done and we all got back and we changed our names back, they got online right after that.
Yeah, they said, hi, everybody, on global chat. And we're like, oh, shit, well, we're glad you weren't on 15 minutes ago, because this would have been bad.
Yeah. Which also happened to be friends of theirs, too. So we attacked their friends.
God, art can be so complicated with... It's like, to me, it reminds me of real life.
Yeah, the tribe friends, and like it's kind of like how WoW was able to create a little simulation of our economy. This one's able to create like a political simulation of like kind of like countries or states or something of the sort.
Like, any advertisement for the game will not do it justice with anything. They're like, oh yeah, it's a survival thing. And you're like, no, it's not. Like, it pretends to be a survival game, but what it really is all about is politicking. Like, Ark is about politicking. You're going to have a tribe that owns a big chunk of land. You're going to have some, and it's going to be really powerful, and you're going to have other tribes that are less powerful, and you're going to have to, like, negotiate for resources, for land, for rights, and, like, try and worm your way up to, like, become friends and buddies with the biggest tribes out there so you have protection. I mean, it is, like, so much more than just survival, and that's why that's why I spent over 1,100 hours playing this fucking game, because it's truly a simulation of, I don't know, unparalleled proportions. And even then, like, I wanted more. Like, at that point in time, I became very much aware, like, you know, when you're a little kid and your imagination is going crazy, but you're like at the beach or in a sandbox, and you're like building sandcastles and you're coming with this story in your head. But then, like, after an hour or so, you're feeling sunburnt and you realize it's just me sitting here all by myself inside the sandbox. So that's kind of the realization I came to. Yeah. After that, I'm like, okay, I'm seeing that all the seams in this game. I'm seeing where I can't do the things that I want to do. There's so much more I wish I could do. I'm like, yeah, I am now that kid sitting in a sandbox, and I'm very much aware that I'm sitting in a sandbox.
You think you'll change, or at least want to, like, when the game, like, they say, hey, this is Arc 1, we're releasing it, you think you'll start doing servers again? Like, when it's that far updated that they're ready to say, hey, this is a finished game?
Honestly, probably not, because I've never ever invested this much time in a single video game before. Like, this is, I even came up with this whole little speech thing. I typed it up ahead of time, posted it online, like, look, guys, this is literally the best game I have ever played in my life. It has truly been an honor, and all the people that I got to know, Like, I genuinely liked a lot of those people, the work relationships that I had developed with them, and then like just joking around. Like, there are a couple people I would just like flirt with constantly, just because I knew that there was no chance in hell anything would ever happen. So like, and they thought it was hilarious. So it was just such a good experience all the way around, and I've never played a game that even came close to that. So it was very comfortable for me to say, look, this is literally the best game I've ever played. I don't ever expect anything to be this good. And I want you all to know, everyone that has gotten to know me while I've been on here, that it has been a pleasure. Thank you all for letting me know you. But I've got to sign off now. It's time for me to go.
It's time to go, guys.
And there were protests. They're like, no, this server will not be the same without you. I'm like, I'm aware of that, because I'm like, our tribe is the third most powerful on the server, but I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, considering how late we came in, it was surprising that we were to get so high up in power so quickly. Like, just a couple of us doing it.
And even then, like, there's so much more pressure when you're the tribe leader. It's crazy, because you're the one that everyone has to go to make decisions. And I gave everybody my TeamSpeak information, and everyone on my team was also part of my Steam, had my Steam information. So, and I have Steam on my phone, so I can be in the middle of the day doing something else, and one of my tribe mates will text me and say, hey, such and such is going on, and I'm like, fuck, I can't even like be out doing something and not have Ark invading my life because my tribe needs guidance.
Yeah. Ark does not stop.
No, it doesn't. It just keeps on going. It keeps on going. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I've got to stop. I can't.
The threat of annihilation is always hovering above you.
Oh, yeah. And I wish that's the one tiny little flaw in it. I wish there was some way you could, like, protect yourself. Like, put yourself into a little bubble when you're done and ready to log off. Like, if none of your tribe is online, like, there should be some sort of, like, safety net. Like, okay, they don't exist for the next umpteen hours, so that you can actually go to work. You can, like, have a meal with someone that you love. You can watch a movie. Have a real life.
That was unlike, I mean, granted, most multiplayer like Minecraft and other sort of servers are real time as well, but at Ark, they don't give quite the if I am gone for so and so long, then everything will be gone. It really just depends on, like, oh, someone might kill my stuff, someone might do this, but it didn't feel, for most of the Minecraft servers I've been on, it's not like, oh, I need to be there the next time, or everything will collapse on myself.
I like to use the the example of the James Cameron's Avatar movie, where the guys kind of jack in, and you have the kitty cat people person Avatar guy, and like you see on screen, like, when he gets unplugged from the machine, his body just kind of like drops wherever it may be, and it just lays there unconscious until he plugs back in again. So imagine a game where that's what happens. The whole world keeps on going. All the politics keep on going. All the the treason and the friendship building and the every diabolical thing keeps on going, even if your body's just laying there crumpled on the floor unconscious. And you log back in again, you wait back up, and you're like, hello, everybody, what have I missed? You're like, oh, well, we've got some new tribes, so-and-so got betrayed. We wiped this tribe completely off the map, so we have we need someone new to sell us eggs now. And you're like, oh, shit, I missed a lot in the last 24 hours, didn't I? You're like, yeah, why'd you get offline? You're like, well, this little thing called work and sleep.
Yeah.
You can't, it's crazy. I can't imagine being that in charge of the server to where they need that level of guidance. That certainly sounds fun, and I wish I had been able to be there at the hard part. But
I know, I was so sad that you weren't able to be there for that. Like, because we did the whole RP thing for a few years with the guild, and that was great. And this was kind of like not quite the next step, but it was kind of the same thing. It was a role play with a whole lot of other people, and there was never any time to stop. And I can understand why, like, it doesn't work for so many people, just because you don't have the time for that.
You also have to have the charisma for it as well. You can't just walk around and just ignore people. If you ignore people, they will kill you. You have to talk. You have to, just be a person. You gotta let yourself communicate. You can't just, shy away.
I think my issue was that, because even though I had played, a bunch of Minecraft things before, I wasn't quite used to that dynamic yet. I wasn't aware how much interaction was needed and how much enjoyment you could get out of it. I just kept on hearing grander and grander stories. Like, what started as, we're just, taming some more dinos, and then now there's this big political structure. I was pretty much blown away that it went from what I saw at the beginning, which was just us four inside a little hut, to the rest of the server when you guys changed to the more populated one.
Yeah,
it definitely was crazy, and even I wasn't expecting such a positive turnout. And part of that had to do with the fact that we were doing something a little bit different. Because anybody can tame a whole bunch of dinosaurs and be like, yeah, I've got a bunch of dinos, I'm powerful now. I'm like, I told everybody from the get-go, I'm like, I want to offer something that no one else that I know of has offered. I want to offer everybody a good time. So I built a combat arena where other tribe members could bring their dinos, and we could have a show-off. Be like, I would announce it to everybody on the server, hey, we're going to have a dino battle. Bring your animals. And we have an arena. And, it'll be this person versus this person. Whoever wins gets some fabulous prizes. And everybody likes prizes because, good shit's hard to come by on a server like this. And it worked. Like, our arena was known everywhere.
Yeah. People talked about it all the time.
Yeah, new people would get on, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, oh yeah, that's the Dragon Tribe. They have an arena. They give away prizes. And they're like, oh, let me tame some, a dodo real quick. I want to go fight something. I'm like, yeah, you know what? We'll do a dodo fight. I'm not below having a dodo fight. Come on out. We'll give you something.
A dodo fight is the lowest of the low.
I mean, they are the easiest thing to tame, but, people get really attached to their animals because they are really hard to tame. So to convince people to fight each other, fight their dinosaurs against each other, is actually a lot harder than you would think it would be.
How many have you had animal deaths in the combat arena?
The only animal deaths were our own animals. Because we would be like, because people were so unwilling to sacrifice or even potentially risk the death of one of their animals, because it takes a long time to do these things, that we would just tame arena fodder. We even named them arena fodder. And we're like, all right, guys, we got a whole bunch of arena fodder. Someone come on down. We're going to do waves of enemies. We're going to start with the easier ones. If you survive that, we'll do wave 2, which will be harder. And if you survive that, we'll do wave 3. And every time you survive a wave, you get better and better gear. And people loved it. They absolutely loved it.
You would address each level of dinosaurs to attack them?
Yeah, so, because any other tribe is technically an enemy tribe, so all we'd have to do is have them stand there in a little red spot in the arena. We put our animals in there, and then we just whistle, attack!
Mm-hmm.
And then they go wild.
Yeah.
Then the bigger tribes got in on it. So we had this whole arena thing going on, and then the really big tribes are like, look, well, we don't want any of your stuff because we have plenty of stuff as it is, but we do have some, one of them was we have a whole bunch of really powerful, eggs that you can use to tame a high-level animal. So we're going to donate this as a prize. So then we were sponsored. We had sponsored fights where, you can come down, do a battle, and then whoever was the winner would walk away with a whole bunch of ankylo eggs, which are a real pain in the ass to try and collect.
Yeah.
And you could tame a really high level, a level 120, which is the maximum level, whatever was animal out in the wild. And people were like, all right, sweet, that's pretty fucking awesome. Oh yeah, so we became everybody's friends, not because we were the most powerful, but because we were the most
friendliest.
Awesome. Yeah, we were friendly and we were awesome. Seriously, anyone that gives away shit is always awesome. And
we had no defenses in our base.
You weren't just trying. Oh yeah, it was like an open house because you weren't trying to protect something. You were
Exactly.
like most of those other powerful tribes, like they got to be the powerhouses because they were the first to get to that point.
Yeah, that was exactly my goal, and we talked about this when we first started our tribe. I'm like, what are we going to do for defense? I'm like, look, we are creating value in our tribe brand. So people are going to see Dragon, they're going to be like, they're going to think, oh, they're the ones that do those arena fights. We have a good time with them. We're going to leave them alone because they really contribute something to the server. And then any new person that comes along is like, who's this Dragon person? They'll be like, oh, don't mess with them. They're awesome. And pretty much that was the reaction to everybody. No one bothered us because everybody liked us.
Yep. We did not get attacked at all except for by a band of trolls that were just on the server just to attack people, which we quickly stomped them out. Once they showed up at our base with their little boats, with their little plants on their boats trying to kill our dinos, I went down there and annihilated them.
Is this the same guy that was that like weird person that we saw that was like standing there like refusing to build his pipes the wrong way or something?
No. Mm-mm. We wiped them out way early on. Now this was an actual bona fide troll. Whoever that was. And wait, I talked about this in a previous podcast earlier. The
sword
that built, Tribe Sword that kept building their pipes all over our hillside, and we're like, dudes, stop building your pipes here, or we will crush you.
Which I did crush them over and over again until they finally just quit.
How fucking hard is it to comprehend you're not supposed to build pipes on this particular hillside where buildings that belong to us are standing?
Yeah, every day they kept taming raptors and carnos, and I just kept going over there and eating them every single day, and finally they just quit.
But only after they proclaimed war against us.
Yeah, exactly, because...
They did. They proclaimed war. They were our first
us.
enemy because they were the first ones to officially proclaim war against us. And then, 2 days later, they were gone.
Yeah.
That lasted a long time.
What asset? It sounded like you had most of their assets gone by that point.
They had nothing. They were just threatening us because we asked them nicely to not put the pipes. We left signs out there. We talked to them when they were online, but they would just ignore Wadabra. They just wouldn't even say anything. And they just kept putting their pipes up and stuff and kept building ridiculous structures. So I was like, okay, that's it. We're done with you.
Yeah, we're one of the few instances where we could put our money where our mouth was. We would talk first and then strike second. So, we would be like, hey, dudes, we're going to talk to you first. And if you don't respect that, then we'll crush you. Seriously, we want to talk to you first because we'd rather not do the crushing because we have a reputation of being nice guys to represent. But if
you continue down this path that you're following, you're going to have a bad time.
If you force our hand, we will destroy you, just so you know.
Yeah.
And they didn't believe us, and they got destroyed.
They were the first of many.
I lost count. I literally lost count of all the people that we crushed.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we were so loved by everybody.
There was that many bad guys.
Oh, you have no idea. Every week was another 100 trolls. I mean, every week.
Yeah,
it was just floods.
I don't understand how a tribe could get bored from just sheer power, because there was always some stupid idiot that had a little too much power than what they knew what to do with, and you're like, all right, I'm going to crush you today. There's always something to do. Always. Any sort of boredom.
Did they ever try to challenge the other bigger people, or how was their dynamic?
New people would.
New people who had no idea.
They'd be naive and like, who are these people? Yeah, we can take them on. I'm like, okay, let's go for it. In fact, you hold on. Name the spot. I'm going to go grab some popcorn real quick.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to show up and I'm going to watch this throwdown and see.
Did they comply? I call out a battle over here.
No, sometimes. It did happen sometimes, but it didn't happen as often as I wished it did.
Yeah. It was more often just...
Because our tribe was so well known and it was relatively easy to get to, people would want to start fights and they'd be like, meet us at the Dragon's Arena.
They settled their disputes.
That happened constantly. It was like a running joke, actually. Because they'd be like, I'll meet you at the Dragon Arena. Like
Apparently,
like,
we had lots of people fighting in an arena when we were all offline as well.
Yeah, we would log on and be like, dude, you missed the most amazing thing. Like,
Yeah.
we had this throwdown at
Yeah.
your place.
Like 10 people there. We're all offline. There's 10 people at our
10
arena.
paces and fire their slingshots.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I was wondering why all of our ladders were damaged, and suddenly it makes sense now. Because, like, literally, so when you log on, you go around and check your base for damage. I mean, if you're smart, that's what you do, just to see, like, who's done what. And I was, like, noticing, like, all the stuff is made out of stone, except for the ladders, which is made out of wood, and wood gets damaged easily. So I'm, like, looking around, like, what the fuck happened in here? All of our wooden shit is damaged. Like, what happened? And then, you know, you say something online, like, oh yeah, well, there's this big throwdown at your guys' place while you're offline. I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
you had your maze.
Yes, oh, such good times. So we topped the arena with a maze where we chucked the maze full of hostile dinosaurs, but also put some treasure chests inside there. There were 4 treasure chests full of treasure, and then 4 treasure chests that had a page that had a number on it. And you could have up to 4 different people in the same tribe, like navigating the maze, working together, trying not to... They were only armed with cloth armor, which is the weakest armor, and a slingshot. So they could knock out the hostile dinosaurs with a slingshot, but they couldn't kill them. And the hostile dinosaurs could actually... They were the Dilophosaurus, you know, the venom-spitting ones from the first Jurassic Park movie. So, you know, you could be in this maze, and then a Dilophosaurus blinds you with their poisonous spit, and suddenly you're just kind of like wandering around, not able to see anything for a few seconds. So you really get fucking turned around. So they were doing that, and so you would have to go around the maze with your buddies and collect all 4 numbers, and the numbers would unlock the door to the boss area. So you finally get through this maze, you finally get all 4 numbers that you need, you unlock the code to get into the next area, and then you have to fight the boss.
After you traverse through the spike pit.
Yeah, the spike pit, then through the boss, and all you have, if you used all your ammo up on the dilos inside the maze, you're fucked, because you have to use those stones to knock out the boss animal before it kills you. And if you manage to knock out the boss animal, then there's a piece of paper on it with the code that lets you out. Once you get out of the whole mess there, you're officially the winner, and then you get showered with presents and stuff like that. If you don't make it through, well, then you just wasted a bunch of time and made a bunch of people laugh at you for your failure.
Yeah.
Well, did they risk something by doing this, or was it just like a challenge?
Originally,
just
we were
challenge.
going to do a risk-reward type thing, but again, people are pussies, and they don't
Yeah.
want to risk anything. So we're like, you know what? Fuck it. Our entertainment is worth just worth the trouble that we're going to go through for this. So come on in, run the maze. If you don't make it, well, at least, you know, it's just a minor inconvenience, and we can all laugh at you.
Wait, did you
win,
have a board?
prizes.
Did you have a board of
Yeah, I had a big bulletin board out, set outside, so anybody that came by while we were online or offline could see who the most recent winners were.
Yep.
So they would get people would get bragging rights, and if someone tried to lie about it, people were like, I'm gonna go swing by the Dragon base and check their billboard and see who the most recent winners are, and they could set the record straight.
And then we had the relics underneath the billboards that would light them up at nighttime with different
man.
colors.
Yeah, it was
What?
fucking epic.
Did you
So
get a
there's
screenshot
no
of that?
there's no
Yeah,
electricity.
I have lots of them.
In the game, at least on our server, it was a primitive server, so there was no electricity. But you could get these trophies from inside the caves, and they would have this like kind of an area effect glow. And so we went into this particular cave that had these red artifacts that would glow red, and our colors were red and black. So then we'd put them right in front and under the billboards, so the red of the background with the black text was illuminated by a red glow at night. So you could read them no matter what time of day it was, but anytime you flew over or walked by our territory, you'd always see all these glowing signs. And you would just know. You'd be like, oh, this is dragon territory, because they've got the glowing red signs everywhere. And we were the only tribe that had that. It was fucking awesome.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I definitely send some of those screenshots, because I like that would have been a really strange dynamic if you had been able to upgrade to like automatic weapons in that server too.
Yeah, we got so many compliments too. In fact, a couple of our later tribe mates were so impressed by our architecture, because I tried to make sure everything that we built was also relatively attractive. So we had I was kind of inspired by the old Roman style architecture with pillars and stuff like that. So I'm like, I wanted to build all of our stuff to be kind of attractive. I made all these custom signs, and we had the night lights, everything. So we had style that no other tribe had. So like these guys would see our work, and they would walk by and like, dude, your base is fucking sick. Like, seriously. I'd be like, I know. Thank you for noticing. And so like some of our newer members were like, you know what? I want to be in your guys' tribe just because I can tell you really care about your shit. Like, you've got a sense of pride. You've got a sense of dignity, and I dig that. And I'm like, yeah, we do. Welcome to the tribe, man.
Yeah, the last thing we had was that tavern right before everything went south. I built that tavern above the vault.
Yeah, we had great plans for that, because they had just created
beer barrels.
One of the updates, you could brew your own beer. And we were going, all right, we're going to have parties with this, and we're going to invite all the tribes we're allied with. We're going to have them come over. We're all going to get drunk in the game together, and then maybe like host some sort of brawl, and it would be fun. But yeah, then shit went down south.
Yeah, that's when the Grills wanted to go and kill everybody, and then Valhalla wanted to take over.
That was the name of the biggest tribe on the server. It was just the Grills, as in like, you know, a cooking grill. Like you cook your steaks on the grill, that type of grill.
Yeah.
They just kind of went like against everything.
No,
they were done.
They were the biggest tribes, and they got bored, or they were the biggest tribe, and they got bored. Not biggest, but they were also the most powerful. So they had all the Giga dinos.
5 gigas, and the highest Giga on the server as well.
So it's kind of like
which I helped them tame.
It's kind of like a country having a lot of nuclear weapons, and then the country being like, "Hey, we're tired of existing. We're just gonna commit suicide and take everybody out with us. So we're launching all of our nukes now.
Yeah.
Bye."
I was actually in that tribe too before I got Wadabra to come over and join me on the server. Yeah, and then I left the biggest tribe to join Dragon.
Yeah, it was a really weird scenario. And at that point in time, we're like, it's not even worth it anymore. But anyway, we have rambled on and on about Ark, this podcast, and we have reached the hour mark.
Yes.
So it is time for us to wrap this bitch up. Chaos, would you like to do the honors?
Alrighty. So for future TFT news, we have our TFT Productions Twitter and TFT Plays Twitter. For the videos, the YouTubes, we have the same thing going, the TFT Productions for all the podcasts and other live action stuff, and the TFT Plays for a bunch of new gaming series that is about to show up in the next few bits. We already have 2 parts of our hardcore Minecraft series coming out.
High quality entertainment right there.
We have the Until Dawn playthrough, Alien Isolation, among other things. So we finally have a set of Let's Plays ready to come out.
Speaking of Minecraft hardcores, I would like to get in on one of those.
I mean,
I love me some Minecraft hardcore.
That would be quite epic, because we're looking into planning another season in the near future.
Oh, please, please, please let me in, because
I'm
so
he really
good
wants it.
at hardcore. I can play hardcore forever and not die. I am so good.
Watch you be the first one that dies.
Nope, not gonna happen.
He won't be. Like, no. Seriously, I've seen this fucker play. He's one of those, like, I would say, like, borderline special. I'm using finger quotes here. You can't see me, but I'm doing finger. He's one of those special players. You're like, how is he? How can he be that good?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know how.
He's special.
I just do. It's fun.
So, anyway, that is that for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you again next week, same time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye, I love you.
Love you, lady. Bye-bye.